Have you ever noticed how different animals all have different talents and weaknesses? They all have certain abilities and some weaknesses. Some run really fast, some are swimmers, some dig, some are small with no claws. For example, rabbits can run very fast, dig holes, but at the same time, it is also very small and doesn't have claws, so it can't really protect itself. It can run fast and, dig holes to protect itself. But if a cat manages to corner it, it can't really fight back, can it? It can't really defend itself because it doesn't have any claws and it's so small. Similarly, other animals also have their own strengths, like lizards can change color, some lizards can. Tigers can run really fast, fishes can swim, tortoises can swim, they have this shell to also protect themselves, disguise, and so on. Similarly, we human beings are also all different from each other. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses. We are all different from each other. You are unique in the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has designed you. No one is exactly like you, and you are not exactly like anybody else in the world. You have some strengths and some talents, some things that you are really good at. And then there are other things you are not so good at. You might be pretty bad at them actually. Like, you know what I'm really bad at? One thing I'm very bad at is this. This is how I draw. So I am really not so good at it. Nobody is perfect and nobody is good at everything. Let's say there were two kids, Bango and Kango. Bango is very good at maths and Kango is not so good at it. Bango says to Kango, "You are such a loser. You always score so badly." Is that true though? Is Kango a loser just because he scores badly in maths? No. Kango could turn around and say to Bango, "So what? I might not be good at maths, but I am so good at drawing or writing, or I'm always doing projects to help others. Can you do all that? Can you draw as well as I can?" Similarly, we are all different and have different things we are good at. That's the way Allah has made us. It would be such a boring world if we were all just the same, don't you think? Some of you may be good at memorizing Quran very fast and reciting it. Others might not be so good at it. Some of you might find it very hard to read Arabic. But that just means you have to put in more effort into it. But you know what? There is a really wonderful thing. Schools are made of humans who can't see everything. So they only reward you for the end result, the result of your test or assignments. Because they don't really know how much effort you put in. They can't always see you. But Allah sees everything, and He rewards you for every little bit of effort you make for His sake. So let's say that Kango and Bango had a maths test. Now, Bango is very good at maths, so he only had to study for 1 hour and he was done. And in the end, he scored 100 out of 100 in the test. But Kango was not so good at maths, so he had to put in a lot of extra effort. But he did, and he kept thinking of Allah, that Allah, I am doing it for your sake, to give it my best for your sake. So he studied hard, extra hard, for hours and hours and hours, and in the end, poor guy, and in the end, he only scored 60 out of 100. Not so good, eh? You know who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward more? Of course, Kango. If he was doing it for the sake of Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward him loads and loads more. For every single minute Kango spent studying, there would have been rewards built for him in Jannah. Every second he was studying, there will have been reward built for him in heaven. So even though he scored less in the test, maths test, he is actually the winner in the end. Same goes for Quran, memorization, recitation, praying, whatever else, whatever good you are doing. If it is hard, that just means you need to put more effort and you will be rewarded more. And isn't that what we actually really want? And if it's easy, then the same thing. You need to put in more effort to memorize even more and learn even faster. If it's easy for you, then do it even more. Put in more effort to do it even more. Allah has made it easy for you, so you thank Allah by doing it even more. And that's how you can also accumulate even more reward. Inshallah. You know who is the only person who's really a loser? It is the person who just gives up, who just sits there and does nothing. The only loser is a person who thinks he's a loser. He might have lots of talents and abilities, might be very special, but because he doesn't use any of them for doing anything good, just sits there thinking, I am no good, then of course he's going to be no good. He's going to be a loser. He just treats himself like a loser. Allah has sent you to this world as a unique individual with some special talents, and we must make all the effort, all the time that we can to use the gifts we have to serve Allah in whatever way we can to help other people. No matter how old you are, whether you are 6 or you are 16, the more you do, the more your talents will grow, inshallah, and the more you can help others and earn the pleasure of Allah. If we put our effort in the right way, for the right reason, we can never ever lose. We will always be winners, inshallah.